Okay, Dave Pierpoint here again with freesocialmediamarketingtips.com. Today we are going to take a look at part 2 of our video on how to quadruple your business with a Facebook fan page. So last week we took a little look at how you can go about setting up your Facebook fan page. Pretty straightforward. Talked a little bit about why Facebook is a great place to start with social media marketing, and today we're going to talk a little bit more about specific strategies on how you might want to do that. So your Facebook fan page, strategy overview. Let's just take a quick look and see what the main steps are. The first thing you're going to want to try to do is to turn your existing customers into Facebook fans. Second step is to turn your customers' Facebook friends into fans. So the goal there is to get your existing customers, once they become a fan, is to get their Facebook friends to become your fans. Third step is to turn those new Facebook fans into new customers, because obviously you're in business to generate income and generate a profit, so you want to turn those people into new customers. And then simply repeat the process with those new customers. So it's kind of an evolving thing. It's a cycle that just continues on, and that's what leads to the exponential growth that we talked about last week. Thing is to remember is that social media marketing is about being where your customers already are and then being a natural part of that experience. All right? So think about McDonald's, all right? Where do they put a new McDonald's? Well, they put it in high traffic locations. They don't just take a McDonald's and stick it out on the edge of town and then expect people to drive all the way out there. They figure out where people already are, so downtown or at malls or airports or any high traffic areas. They find those, and then that's where they put a McDonald's. And that's essentially what social media marketing is all about. Is people are spending a ton of time on Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, all these different type of social media environments, and that's where you want to be. And you want to be a natural part of that experience. You want to be there when they need your help, and then you're ready to roll. So let's talk about the importance of context in social media marketing. There's probably no more important thing to talk about than the idea of context, because if you get this piece wrong, then all your social media marketing efforts are really going to flop. Thing to remember is that every environment has social norms that govern the acceptable rules of behavior. All right, so I'm not a professional sociologist or anything like that, but just think about your common experience in life. All right, the social norms at a wedding are going to be different than they are at a funeral, and that's going to be different social norms than if you were at a rock concert, and then those all three would be totally different than if you were at the library. All right, and those social norms in each of those environments, they govern the acceptable rules of behavior. So that's no different in social media marketing than it is in real life. So just think about it. You wouldn't show up at a job interview if you were dressed like the member of a biker club. All right, if you were a member of a Harley club, you wouldn't show up dressed like that at a job interview unless you were trying to get a job at a Harley shop. But in most cases, you wouldn't do that because that wouldn't be an acceptable social norm. And in the same way, you wouldn't show up at a biker bar dressed like you were showing up for a job interview with a suit and tie on or fancy clothes or whatever. You'd probably get beat up and thrown through a window or something like that. But anyway, in each of those different environments, you have to remember that there's a context and there's social norms that govern what the acceptable rules of behavior are. So in any environment, it's your previous experiences, your expectations, and your emotional state that govern your perception and your response in any set of circumstances. All right, and that's why it's so important when you think about what your approach is when you're using social media marketing. It has to match those experiences, expectations, and emotional states of the people who are in that environment. Okay, so when you show up as a business person or a professional or whatever you might be marketing, okay, if you show up there and the way you interact in that environment violates the emotional state and the perception and the expectations of the people who are in that environment, whatever you try to do is going to flop, okay, because it's not going to fit. So let's just talk briefly here. What is the social norm for the social media environment? Okay, for the most part, the basic underlying context is that it's friends sharing information. All right? Comments, so they're making posts, they're talking about what they're doing, they're sharing photos, they're sharing videos, they're posting links about other cool stuff that they want to share with their friends or colleagues. Okay, but basically, bottom line is that social media, the environments that takes place in, is friends sharing information. And you always have to keep that in mind because it's totally laid back, it's fun, it's casual, it's just like friends hanging out having a good time. And so whatever you do with your social media marketing, it has to fit into that context. And if you keep that in mind with everything you do, basically you'll be fine and this is all going to work. But if you violate that context, then whatever you do is not going to work. All right, so just to kind of set that as the foundation. And for me, the easiest way to remember that is to think about it in this way. Basically, you're at the party, but the party isn't about you. And that's what makes social media marketing so much, it's basically the polar opposite of what most marketing and advertising is all about. All right? When you do a television ad or a radio spot or put an ad in a magazine or whatever the case may be, I mean, the intent is to grab attention and to make it all about you or your product or your service because you want to grab somebody's attention and make an impact. Okay? But that's the opposite of what social media marketing is all about. Basically, you're at the party. It's like you're a friend of a friend and you got to come to the party, but basically you're just kind of hanging out and you're waiting to kind of get noticed. You're trying to make friends by being friends with the people that are already there. So just keep in mind, you're at the party, but the party isn't about you. And if you try to make the party about you in social media marketing, again, it's going to flop. So let's just look at an example here. So I came up with an example. We're just going to pretend for a minute that you're the owner, or you're the maker and the seller, the manufacturer of the Vegematic 3000. All right, which is the world's most fabulous vegetable juicer. Okay, so pretty excited. You're kind of stoked. You want to get this out there and get people using it because it's the greatest thing out there. And so how would we go about the process? Just kind of a hypothetical walkthrough of doing social media marketing for the Vegematic 3000. Okay, well the first thing is that your objective is to have actual customers telling stories about how the Vegematic 3000 has become part of their daily life, and then let them sell the benefits of your product. Okay, so again, we're at the party, but the party isn't about us. So the objective is to have the actual customers telling their stories. So how might I go about this? Okay, so this is just hypothetical. Well, the first thing I'd do is when customers buy the Vegematic 3000, I would give them a printed invitation to join my Facebook fan page. Okay, so this would be, something cool. I'd print it up. It'd look like maybe a movie ticket or a party invitation or something like that. And it would include the link to my Facebook fan page. And I'd hand it out and I'd say, hey, thanks for buying the Vegematic 3000. Just wanted to let you know, to save paper and to make it totally cool for you, we went ahead and we created 10 totally awesome video recipes. All right, and so if you go to our Facebook fan page, become a fan, you'll be able to get these video recipes, and it's just awesome. You're going to love these recipes. They're totally cool, so go ahead and check it out. And the people are going to be like, hey, this is different. I've never got an invitation to a Facebook fan page, and it does sound kind of cool to get some recipes, and hey, there's no better way to do that than to watch a video, so hey, I might check it out. Okay, so when my customers who just bought my product become fans, what's going to happen? All right, well, the way Facebook fan pages work, the way Facebook works, is once they do that, once they go online and do that, this is going to show on their own Facebook page in the news feed of their activities. All right, and as we talked about in video number 1, this is going to be visible to all of their Facebook friends. And we talked about, on average right now, the average Facebook user has 120 friends. All right, so basically they show up to watch the video recipes, and when they become a fan, all of their friends are going to see that they now own the Vegematic 3000. Thinking, hey, that sounds pretty cool. I wonder what that's all about. All right, then the next thing I do is once a week I would send out a weekly message using Facebook's automatic system. Okay, this is nothing fancy, it's just built in. I would send out a weekly message to all of my Facebook fans asking them to post their own favorite Vegematic 3000 recipes. All right. So, the presumption is that people are out there using the Vegematic 3000 because it's the world's most fabulous vegetable juicer. And they're going to be trying all sorts of different things. And I'm going to send out a weekly email reminder asking them to post their own favorite recipes, either videos or they can just post it, just the text for the recipe, whatever it is.